leave for Olympics in a couple days. So also wanted to just warn you guys, next week, episodes might be light because I am going to Milan to cover the Olympics. I will be vlogging there, so I'll have a vlog for you guys, but I'm going to just make sure that I make the most out of that experience. I have never covered the Olympics before. I'm very excited about it. I'll be doing a lot of things while I'm there. So if there's any breaking news, I will make sure to update you guys from Italy, but otherwise, I'll probably just see you when I'm back. However, while I was in Los Angeles, there was some WNBA breaking news, so I just wanted to go over that quickly with you guys, and I apologize that I'm a few days late. Firstly, I want to talk about this team.
She should have been selected much earlier. The omission was impossible to ignore, and the backlash from fans was intense. Now, however, Caitlin Clark is officially part of Team USA, and social media has erupted with excitement. This isn't a routine roster update, it feels like a turning point. Supporters who have long demanded recognition for the young superstar are finally seeing her receive the honor she earned. The arguments have quieted. Clark has arrived, and her presence is already generating massive attention, with expectations of record-breaking viewership that could expand the sport's international appeal. The spotlight is ready for what could become an unforgettable debut poised to dominate headlines.
Guys, and I apologize that I'm a few days late. Firstly, I want to talk about this Team USA roster for the 2026 USA Women's World Cup qualifying team. Just so you guys know, I just want to make this clear. This is not an Olympic roster team. This is for World Cup, and this is also for the qualifiers for World Cup. So this is actually happening in March, like the qualifying games are in March, and we did get the schedule for that. So yeah, March 11th, March 12th, 14th, 15th, and 17th, and they will play, is that Senegal? Is that right? I don't know what that flag is. I think it's possibly Senegal.
However, it's important to clarify one key detail. This is not the Olympic squad many people expected to see. Instead, Clark has been named to the 2026 USA Women's World Cup qualifying team, a critical step on the path toward international success. That difference matters. Even so, the buzz hasn't slowed down, showing that her popularity goes far beyond any single competition. The March qualifiers will give her an early platform to display her elite skills on the global stage, quiet lingering critics, and establish her presence within Team USA. The pressure feels significant despite the setting.
Possibly Senegal, Puerto Rico, Italy, New Zealand, and Spain. This is also so ironic, you guys, because remember when I did that Caitlin Clark debate where it was like one Caitlin Clark fan versus 10 haters? That's going to be released around the time that they're doing these World Cup games. So that should just be so interesting. I just can't believe it was supposed to be released in January and it got pushed to March. So stay tuned for that, you guys. It's going to be smack dab in the middle when all of these players are playing, and I'm sure that it will definitely stir the pot. I'm kind of mad that it's not being released earlier than that, but anyway, this is the roster for those games. We have Aaliyah Boston, Paige.
Qualifying matchups are scheduled across a busy stretch in March, on the 11th, 12th, 14th, 15th, and 17th. During this demanding run, Team USA will compete against several international opponents: Senegal, Puerto Rico, Italy, New Zealand, and Spain. Every contest brings a different style of play and a new test for Clark as she builds chemistry with her accomplished teammates. The pace will be relentless, requiring focus, execution, and strategic sharpness from the opening tip. With global attention locked in, there will be little margin for mistakes.
For those games, we have Aaliyah Boston, Paige Beckers, Sonia Citron, Caitlin Clark, Kalia Copper, Chelsea Gray, Dearica Hamby, Ryan Howard, Kiki Riafen, Kelsey Plum, Angel Reese, and Jackie Young. And a lot of people were also asking, like, why isn't Nafisa on this roster? Why isn't Asia Wilson on this roster? Why isn't Sabrina, like some of the people who actually played in the Paris Olympics, on that team? And it's because it's World Cup. Not every player, not all of the top tier players play in every world event. I can imagine that Asia will just not participate in World Cup. She doesn't have to. She probably will only participate when another Summer Olympics rolls around.
An added twist only heightens the drama and guarantees a surge of online reactions. A previously recorded debate video featuring Caitlin Clark, where one supporter faces off against 10 critics, is scheduled for release right around the World Cup qualifiers. The timing feels almost calculated. Some may see it as risky publicity, while others may view it as clever promotion. Either way, the launch is certain to spark conversation, intensify scrutiny, and keep Clark at the center of the basketball world, with every performance analyzed in real time.
The graphic that Team USA decided to use, because they have Ryan Howard, Chelsea Gray, and Aaliyah Boston on this, but obviously they didn't. I mean, the three biggest stars on this roster are Caitlin, Paige, and Angel. They didn't use any of them, which is fine. It is what it is, but obviously I think people were saying like, oh, this graphic would have been shared a lot more if you put Caitlin Clark on there, or you put Angel Reese on there, or if you put Paige on there. Now, I also wanted to share with you guys the coaches for this Team USA team. So head coach is Kara Lawson. She is the head coach at Duke, and we actually had her on the show. I loved her interview. I love Kara Lawson. I've been watching her. Well, I was a fan of her when she played.
Complete roster presents an intriguing mix of experienced leaders and rising stars, signaling the program's evolving vision. Alongside Clark, the team includes standout talents such as Aaliyah Boston, Paige Buchers, Angel Reese, Kalia Copper, Chelsea Gray, and Jackie Young. With such depth, fans can expect competitive games and versatile rotations. At the same time, fierce competition for playing time, particularly in the guard positions, adds another compelling storyline. Even the roster announcement alone ignited debates and widespread speculation among supporters.
Somebody's gonna be mad. Somebody's gonna be mad whether Chelsea Gray is starting or whether Caitlin Clark is starting. Somebody somewhere is going to be mad. That's just how the discourse is around this league. But I think it's a good roster. I think it's a good team. I think that they will be just fine in these World Cup qualifiers and also in World Cup. But it is really exciting to see players like Caitlin finally getting that Team USA nod, because she should have been on the 2024 Olympic team. And lastly, you guys, really quick, we can talk about this CBA stuff. We don't really have any real updates. I'm just going to start there. Nothing is confirmed. We don't truly know anything new.
One early criticism surrounding the announcement centered on the official promotional graphic. Despite featuring some of the most recognizable names in women's basketball, Clark, Buchers, and Reese, none were highlighted prominently in the design. Many fans questioned why the organization didn't capitalize on its biggest stars to maximize excitement and engagement. The surprising visual choice quickly became a topic of conversation, though it was soon overshadowed by the magnitude of Clark's selection itself.
CBA stuff. We don't really have any real updates. I'm just going to start there. Nothing is confirmed. We don't truly know anything new. All we have is some quotes from some players. The last time I updated you guys, I told you that the WNBA did return to the players and counter their proposal, and we really haven't heard anything substantial. Like, we don't know if the players came back, if they're doing a counter proposal. Like, we just don't know. And at this point, I'm tired of it. I'm over it. I just want to see what happens. But there was an article that came out where a reporter interviewed some of the players that play for Athletes Unlimited, and they asked them about the WNBA CBA, because like we've talked about a million times, they're definitely very...
A defining feature of this Team USA lineup is its strong emphasis on guard play. The roster leans heavily towards speed and perimeter skill, with only a handful of traditional post players such as Aaliyah Boston, Dearica Hamby, Nafisa Collier, and Angel Reese anchoring the interior. The construction suggests a commitment to tempo, spacing, and offensive versatility. This youthful and dynamic group reflects the modern evolution of the game, prioritizing agility and scoring efficiency. It's a squad designed to push the pace, stretch defenses, and capitalize on long-range threats, an approach that aligns seamlessly with Clark's playing style.
Another player said, I feel like we're asking for a lot. I know we deserve it, but at the same time, it's kind of like we're kind of getting greedy. We're doing a lot of asking. I feel like we need to do a lot of doing. So that was kind of one of the answers that stood out, because we haven't heard a player yet come out publicly and say, like, we're being greedy, we need to sign this deal. Another player said, I'm going to lean more towards the positive side, so I'm going to say an 8, because I know the amazing people that we have to support us, the women in the negotiating chairs. Somebody said full W season ? I feel pretty confident. Full ? I feel like a 9. And so the question was, sorry, I didn't even tell you the question. It said
the absence of established superstars such as Nafisa Collier, Aya Wilson, and Sabrina Ionescu from this World Cup qualifying roster immediately caught attention. While surprising at first glance, the reasoning is fairly straightforward. Elite players frequently choose to sit out non-Olympic international tournaments in order to protect their health and extend their careers, focusing their peak performance on the sport's biggest stage. Aya Wilson, for example, is widely expected to prioritize preparation for the upcoming Summer Olympics in Los Angeles. This selective participation reflects the clear hierarchy within international basketball and the strategic decisions athletes make about long-term goals. Leading this talented and youthful roster is head coach Kara Lawson, the highly respected figure at the helm of Duke University's women's basketball program. Lawson brings extensive experience, not only as a coach but also as a former standout player at Tennessee. Her background as both a competitor and a leader makes her exceptionally qualified to manage a group filled with high-profile names. Her guidance will be essential in shaping the roster into a unified, disciplined force capable of succeeding on the international stage. Lawson is backed by a strong coaching staff that includes WNBA figures Natalie Nakase, Nate Tibbetts, and Stephanie White serving as assistant coaches. Jose Fernandez and Tia Jackson contribute as scout coaches, carefully studying each opponent to ensure thorough preparation. This experienced collection of basketball minds signals a serious and calculated approach to the qualifiers. Every detail appears to be considered, leaving little room for oversight. Naturally, much of the conversation has shifted toward the projected starting lineup. Fans are passionately debating whether the team should embrace a bold, youth-driven approach. Many supporters argue that Caitlin Clark belongs at point guard, with Paige Buchers at shooting guard, Aaliyah Boston anchoring the paint at center, and Angel Reese filling the power forward role. Such a lineup would combine scoring, playmaking, and rebounding in an electrifying blend. However, this vision also sparks controversy. The idea of seasoned veterans like Chelsea Gray potentially coming off the bench in favor of emerging stars like Clark is certain to fuel intense debate across social platforms. In a league known for strong opinions and fierce loyalty, every coaching decision will be analyzed and criticized from multiple angles. Despite these discussions, the dominant emotion surrounding Clark's inclusion is excitement. Many believe her presence on Team USA is long overdue and view it as overdue recognition of her exceptional talent. Some still argue she should have been part of the 2024 Olympic squad, making this selection feel like meaningful validation. Beyond statistics and accolades, her call-up represents acknowledgement of her place among the sport's elite. At the same time, uncertainty surrounding the WNBA season casts a shadow over this celebratory moment. Ongoing collective bargaining agreement negotiations remain unresolved, with limited public updates. The prolonged negotiations have sparked concerns about potential scheduling disruptions or even a shortened season. What should be a purely celebratory period instead carries underlying tension driven by the league's business realities. Anonymous player comments have revealed differing opinions within the ranks. One player admitted uncertainty about whether the entire season would be completed, while another suggested that expectations may be escalating. These candid remarks highlight the complexity of the situation. Some players feel current proposals are reasonable, while others believe further progress is necessary. Public disagreement only adds pressure to already delicate discussions. A recent player poll regarding confidence in a full season illustrated the unease. On a scale of 1 to 10, the average response hovered slightly above 6, with many selecting 5. That lukewarm confidence underscores the seriousness of the negotiations and the genuine concern among athletes themselves. Doubt about stability inevitably adds suspense to Clark's highly anticipated debut. Breanna Stewart, one of the league's most influential voices, offered a balanced outlook. She expressed optimism that team owners are increasingly receptive to player concerns, but emphasized the importance of approaching negotiations with a business-focused mindset. Stewart also pointed out the impact of revenue sharing, noting that missed games directly affect earnings. That financial reality creates urgency for all parties to reach an agreement promptly. This tension surrounding the CBA stands in stark contrast to the excitement of Clark's Team USA moment. While her debut has the potential to elevate visibility and expand the league's audience, unresolved labor issues could hinder momentum. Players now share in league revenue, meaning any interruption carries consequences for everyone involved. The intersection of talent, opportunity, and business negotiations defines this pivotal chapter in women's basketball. As negotiations continue without resolution, uncertainty lingers over the WNBA's promising trajectory. Even as one of its brightest stars steps onto the international stage, the league faces critical decisions about its future direction. Whether it fully capitalizes on the surge of attention surrounding Clark or becomes distracted by internal challenges will shape the path forward for years to come. Caitlin Clark's Team USA debut represents far more than a roster addition. It symbolizes generational change, ongoing efforts for fair compensation, and an unprecedented level of visibility for the sport. Her presence guarantees attention, but sustained progress will depend on stability, unity, and strategic leadership. How the league manages this moment will ultimately determine whether it becomes a defining turning point in basketball history.